Our next guest has been helping us get our wallets in check for a while now, so we are super excited she's back today. But this time, she's added a new title to her name. Please welcome to the show, Tiffany Aliche, founder of The Budgetnista and New York Times best-selling author of Get Good with Money. Hey, Tiffany, congratulations on writing your first book.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey. It makes so much sense too. All of your good tips should be in a book, so I'm happy for you. And before we get to it, tell us a little bit about your childhood and how it affected your relationship with money.
So I was fortunate to grow up in a household where money was talked about all the time, much to my annoyance when I was younger. My father was a CFO and an accountant, and my mom was a nurse, and together they raised 5 girls. But my father was like the academics when it came to finances. He would sit us down, show us, this is how you budget, this is how you save, this is how you invest. And my mother, she was more real life application. So we would go food shopping with her and watch her navigate. We would go clothes shopping. We would watch her negotiate how to get her hair done and how much it was going to cost. So just growing up in that household, money became normal. And it wasn't until probably college that I realized that most people didn't grow up in a household like that.
Wow, that is incredible. Now, Tiffany, even having that, we've all made financial mistakes at some point in our lives. So was that ever the case for you?
Absolutely. Up until about my mid-20s, I'd say that I was what I like to call financially perfect. Until, your mid-20s is when you start feeling yourself. You feel like I'm grown. I can make grown choices because I used to just do what my parents told me to do. But I wanted to learn how to invest and make even more money. And so I asked an air quotes friend of mine to help me to learn how to invest. And instead of doing that, he actually got me mixed up in a credit card scam that left me $35,000 in credit card debt. Add that to I just bought a condo. Yes. He's in jail now. Add that to I just bought a condo. and I just finished my master's. So the condo was $220,000. My master's was $52,000. This $35,000 in credit card debt. Then the 2008 recession hit. And that left me with no job. So I was totally, honestly freaked out and ashamed. I ended up having to move back home with my parents at age 30, which was not fun since they still had a curfew because they're like, if you live here, you have to live under our rules. And I started to rebuild myself back up, and my friends took notice because they too, as you know, during the recession, many people also lost their jobs. So they started to reach out to me, and the Budgetnista was born. As I was fixing myself, I was fixing other, mostly women.
I love that.
That's fantastic. And a lot of people may not know this, but you were actually a teacher before you became the Budgetnista, and you're still dropping knowledge with your new book, Get Good with Money. Why did you want to write this book, and who is it for?
So, Lonnie, I wanted to write this book because just like here on The Real, I'm slick with the tips now, but what I noticed is that people were succeeding in one subject matter alone. So I would do tips on credit, and they would have great credit, but no savings. I would do tips on savings, and they would have savings, but they're not investing. And I realized that they didn't have the whole curriculum, if you will. And so I came up with this concept called financial wholeness because I wanted to make sure that people had access to a guide that was going to show them all of the components, which are basically 10 components to the rest of their financial life. I wanted them to know how to budget, save, debt, credit, learning to earn, investing, insurance, net worth, your financial professionals, and estate planning. Those are the 10 components to financial wholeness that I walk you through step by step in my book, Get Good to Money. Also, Get Good with Money is also a love letter to the women I've been serving really for the last 10 years because I know what it's like to feel like to not have. I know what it's like to feel afraid that you're not going to be able to pay your bills. Where are you going to stay? What are you going to do for food? I know that fear, and I didn't want any other women in particular to go through it alone. And so I wrote Get Good with Money, not as your financial guru, but really to be like your financial girlfriend and to like walk you through step by step to let you know that you are not alone. So I'm really proud of it.
Your book also talks about the mindset we should have before we hit the checkout line. Tell us more about that.
So there are 4 questions you should ask yourself before you spend any money. And I go over this in the book because if you really can't, like my friend Ash Cass says, if you can't get your mind right, you can't get your money right, right? So these questions are, do I need it? Do I love it? Do I like it? Do I want it? Need it, love it, like it, want it.
want it.
So your needs are your most obvious. These are food, shelter, clothing, water. You have to have these things to maintain your health and your safety.
Yeah.
But your loves are a little bit trickier, right? So your loves are things like, if you had Oprah's bank account, what would you do or do more of? Because I want you to start thinking more broadly. I want you to think without lack. Think with an abundant mind. So for me, it's like travel. Your loves really give you lasting joy. Ask yourself, if I make this purchase a year from now, will this still bring me joy? Like for me, a vacation for sure, years from now will still bring me joy. Your likes, on the other hand, are temporary joy. So about 6 months from now, you'll still feel joy from this purchase. And your wants are no real joy at all, just temporary satisfaction. So just in the moment, you get a thing, it makes you feel good, maybe for a few minutes or an hour or so. I want people to live more in the needs and the loves. This is your more side of life, and less in the likes or the wants, because your likes and wants really take away from your needs and your loves. I also want people to think and readjust their mindset when they think about a budget. Most people think about a budget as something to tell you no, but it's truly your say yes plan. Your budget wants to say yes. Think about your budget like your mom. You would ask your mom as a kid, hey, Mom, can I go outside and play? Yes, after you finish your homework. Can I have dessert? Yes, if you eat dinner. So your budget is there to say yes, when, after, if. It's supposed to be there to say yes to you, but in a way that's sustainable for you. And so that's what I help to teach and hope to teach in my book.
Tiffany, thank you so much. We are so proud of you. Thank you for always coming through for us. Now, be sure to get a copy of her new book, Get Good with Money, at getgoodwithmoney.com. Pick it up today.